Adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old.
All right, so dads, raise a glass. We're going to get into some really great stuff this week, including Diablo 4, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and not updating it to preserve a break, Starcraft 2, so real old throwback and introductions to the new ones, and a last-gen gift for a new-gen kid. But to start the games off with a cheers, we have entered, folks, the Summer of Beers. Summer of Beers, a yearly tradition for the gaming dads here. And first off the hop, if you have a beer recommendation, a gaming dad beer, one of your favorites, a really tasty one you came across, send it our way. We've had some really amazing ones previously, and we'd love to get some new ones. So find us on Twitter at NewDadGaming or submit it at newdadgaming.com. We'll do our absolute best to find it, drink it on the show, give it a quick review. A couple of episodes ago, I'd mentioned that because of a bit of a health kick I was on, I had been experimenting with non-alcoholic beer. So this first week, next week we'll get into normal alcoholic stuff, but this week we're going to start off with non-alcoholic. And in fact, it's a bit of a no surprise there where I'm reviewing my non-alcoholic pick and something I'll be dipping into this summer, something called Sober Carpenter.
Okay.
And this is sold just right in the grocery store. It's not egregiously priced, but it's a non-alcoholic beer with more of a craft focus of it. If you've ever messed with a red ale, you know exactly what this is about. All those notes. So it's just a very competent, nice drinking, tasty ale, red ale specifically. In a taste test, if you'd put a blindfold on me, I could not tell you that this is non-alcoholic.
Wow. Okay,
It was
something.
So it's going to be one of my go-tos now, like just because of that reason. So if I'm during the week trying to reduce alcohol, bam, Sober Carpenter, and it's great. So yeah, my pick for this week, Sober Carpenter, 0%, a way to dip into some beers a bit more often with
at the soccer game, the kids' baseball game, anywhere you like.
While driving, on the beach, at a funeral. Where do you want to drink?
Why not? I'm not drunk. I'm a sober carpenter.
There goes our sponsorship. So now I had a fantastic experience, but as best I understood from pre-show, it sounds like your non-alcoholic beer has not been such a great experience.
I think, yeah. I think I just poured. I chose quite poorly. I saw this beer in, I think, Loblaws Superstore, and I'm like, will I partake?
I like partake. Oh.
Okay, so it comes in. It was a 4-pack, and this is number 3. Mm-hmm. I've given it a fair shake, and I'll just say that it has like a hoppy taste to it, but like without it's gonna sound awful, but without like the buzz of the alcohol to kind of counter it and to like decrease the taste buds a little bit, and like you know how you're kind of feeling it a little bit more. This does not have that aspect to it, so it has, since we last talked, it has grown on me a little bit, but it's just not the greatest. I don't know.
Yeah. The way to say it, I think, is like, and this is just honest about it, like the buzz that comes with alcohol, if you're able to, if it places a non-problematic part of your life, like if you can have a bit of alcohol in the buzz and it doesn't affect your living, if you can enjoy it, it is honestly part of the experience. Because I'll side with you in one way. When it's a Tuesday and I'm barbecuing and I'm just trying to be a little bit healthier, like I like having a beer, but I'm just trying not to have alcohol during the week. And that's where this makes sense, because it's cold, tastes like beer, I'm out in the sun, I'm barbecuing, that's great. Like this week when I was playing Diablo 4, like as a later night session, like the buzz was part of the experience. You know what I mean? So like it all other options being not there, non-alcoholic would have been fine, but I reached for specifically an alcoholic one because that, you know, relaxing nature of it was part of it. For sure. So I definitely get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I think that just kind of frames where you can have this particular experience to partake. Hashtag why I partake. But yeah, so it was an okay experience. I will say that it's a lot easier to pick this stuff up when you can run through the regular lineup at the grocery store instead of going to the special one that's always backed up. So
that's an Ontario specific thing. Here in Canada, you have to go through a special checkout when buying beer at a grocery store. But another issue for another time. Yep. Summer beer begins on a very sober, non-alcoholic version of it, but one win, one loss. Again, Gaming Dads, if you have alcoholic or non-alcoholic picks, you can send our way. We'd love to hear from it. Some of the picks from the listeners have been some of the best we've had for the summer of beers at New Dad Gaming on Twitter, newdadgaming.com. So as I alluded to, in a drunken stupor as I was playing Diablo 4, nothing quite that bad, but I did dip into Diablo 4. So I had gone with the ultimate version. So I got an extra 6 days, I think it was, before everybody else.
Yeah, you're out there in front of everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure some people have already surpassed me by now. But during those times, like there was opportunities for me to do some other events. Like I was going to go for a motorcycle ride or other, watch a movie or something. And it's like, hold on, like I specifically paid to get this thing early. And if I don't play it a decent amount, given my nonsense pre-order, like I'm double the fool I already am.
Yeah. It's funny that you're guilted into playing it. You're like, no, I should play the thing that I bought.
Yeah. So just as a real I don't want to give you've seen reviews out there. Everyone knows like it's quite good. So let me give it more like just my and more like dad perspective of it, right? So from my perspective, what everyone is saying, totally true. It's fantastic. Like it's just a out and out solid, beautiful looking Diablo game. It's amazing. It's exactly what you want. Great gear, cool story. Feels solid, like feels amazing. So everything you're hearing is correct. I find there's a lot of dad-friendly features to it. So the once you do get through the story, if you want to have multiple characters, I haven't got there yet. But for instance, once you get through the story, you don't have to do it again. So if you want to do multiple characters, like you want to try a barbarian this time, you want to try a sorceress, whatever. You don't have to go through that same story loop every single time. You can kind of just get to what you'd call almost like the open world portion. Where it's like, okay, you're on your own, go and do whatever you please. You don't have to go through those first tutorials every single time.
Perfect. Okay, that's much better.
That's very good. Now,
yeah, okay.
Now, I, the fool, I did go through it 4 times because I did not get far enough to enable that feature. But the first class, I did not like the first classes I chose. And it's like, I don't know how long this is going to take me, and I don't want to be stuck with this. The first one I chose was the Necromancer. It's very cool. Kind of liked it. I disliked having to constantly click on dead bodies and say, like, rise and have them do the fighting. But fine, I could kind of get over that. That still sound foolish. But the thing that really killed it for me is that you would go into a town, and it's like, oh, like, praise the great God, like you're here, thank goodness, like, oh, you saved this town and my children. And you're a skeleton king standing there with like zombies around you. It's like, oh, there is good in the world. It's like, get me and my zombie posse.
Yeah.
Just like, but I could not get past every cutscene that they were talking, like, thank goodness for your good soul. And I got an army of the dead behind me.
Yeah, like it probably raised your grandfather behind me just to fight my own battles.
Yeah, I'm sorry your husband died, but don't worry, he serves me now. It's great.
He's right here. Let's say hi.
Yeah. I as dumb as it's, I just couldn't get past it. So like that, I tried a druid for a while, but I didn't like the fact that they shape shifts. I don't like going into another. I like building a character. I don't want to have to shift into a different character, if that makes any sense. It's a foolish type thing. I eventually ended up on a sorcerer that I'm having an absolute blast with. And what's great about it is another really dad-friendly version of this is respecking. So
good.
See, because the dad grind is real. It takes a long time to level up, and then like you put these characters, and when you're staring at these skill trees, it's daunting, right? Because if I choose wrong, I've wasted an hour of leveling on that one stupid point on something that doesn't work with my build or whatever else like that. Up until level. Go on.
That skill tree is pretty big from what I saw in the beta. Like it's pretty pretty deep. So I don't want to be choosing things that don't work with each other and then be like, okay, I guess I have a broken build. Like that's it. Bye.
So up to level 8, completely free to respec. So you can just do as much as you please. And even after that, it's like 500 gold, 1,000 gold. And this at this point, you have 50,000, like 100,000 gold.
Oh, so no. Okay.
It may as well be free, honestly.
Yeah.
And what it allowed me to do is every now and then you get this super epic weapon, and it says, oh, with this, you get Meteor, and you get these other 3 fire skills. At the time, I was a lightning guy. So I was like, all right, great. Click the button, completely respec them, top to bottom. Like, all right, I'm going to make you a fire build now, because I got this one thing that lets me have all this extra firepower. And it's great. Like I've done it through. I've tried every type. I've been a lightning sorcerer. I've been a fire sorcerer. I've been an ice one. Like that is awesome. At any point, you can just go back to town and just like completely respec it. Hey, Dad, tip: when you're respecing it, the game doesn't pause. And if you haven't selected any way to attack anybody, you're entirely harmless. So I'm in the middle of deciding how to respec it. And all of a sudden, like the red blood starts flashing from the side because I'm getting attacked by a horde. I get out of the screen only to find out I have 0 attacks. I have no way to attack them. No buttons. So I have to quickly jump back into it, like give myself 2 attacks and start going for it. All suffice to say, like between the quick saves, the respecking, the story skip mode, a la Destiny 2, one of the things that I really liked about that game is I didn't grow up with MMORPGs, right? So I'm not used to large groups or raids or any of those other things. Like it's a bit foreign to me, but I still kind of liked the community aspects of stuff. And much like in Destiny 2, where you're playing live, technically, although kind of on your own, there's just events. Like all of a sudden you'll just kind of see this big red thing circle on the map and something is happening.
Right.
So, and it's just some kind of cool event that's happening. Okay, you got to save this town, or this thing's going to explode, or kill these obelisks because the demon's coming. Whatever you want to do. And then you see all these other players, and you're all now collaboratively, without forming a party or like syncing up servers or any nonsense like that. You're just participating in an event, and then you get some like really awesome like loot that gets out of it too. So that was really cool as well. And I think that's really good for a dad because you're not trying to. It allows you some online play without trying to coordinate with other busy gaming dads.
Right. Yeah, that's good to know because it's all online, right? Like it's all okay. But the fact that you can jump in, jump out to what you want, right? And you're not like pushed to certain like because you don't need to do those events to really progress, right? Like
none
it
at
would
all.
just okay, well then see, that's easy.
Yeah, totally.
I gotta skip that stuff if I need to.
Yeah, totally optional. You don't have to. It's just like the extra events are going on in the world, and you can get some great benefits if you want to participate. And it's cool. You see other players are doing their kind of fun, funky things. You're buffing each other. It's a blast.
Okay.
So altogether, like I found it very approachable. It's classic Diablo, as you know. There's like different difficulty tiers where you want to go, respecking everything else. Like it's been very dad friendly. Really approve it. I think it's fantastic.
Nice. It's a little known game called Diablo 4. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Little indie title.
No one knows about it. Yeah.
It's gonna be game journos in the know will list it as their game of the year, perhaps. But those are only the ones true hashtag true gamers. But either way, gaming dads, check it out. Hey, if you have your own review of it or want to dip into some Diablo 4 with a fellow gaming dad, reach out to us at New Dad Gaming or newdadgaming.com. So there was no game-breaking bugs in Diablo 4 when it first launched, but there has been a fantastic game-enhancing bug in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and one that has had you quarantine your Switch away from your kids lest they fix what is the greatest accessibility bug of all time.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So Zelda Tears of the Kingdom right now is broken. Like it has
in the best way.
It is broken in the best way. There's a duplication bug that went around and everybody shared it. Easy, super easy to execute. It's not like you have to reset the game or reload a save or anything like that. You literally jump, hold things in your hand, and it all duplicates. So you can get like 20 of times the things very easily. I love it in terms of an accessibility feature for gaming dads that doesn't have to grind the stuff to make the things. So this has been a feature that Nintendo thought that they could just take away through a patch, right? So like I'm dying inside because I don't want to update this game because it will take away my ability to just to kind of like relax and chill through the experience, knowing that I can duplicate whatever I want. Like if I need extra diamonds to buy something, bam, done. 5 seconds later, I got 30 diamonds. Link is hauling bags of money, bags of rupees to buy whatever he needs to go on the next mission. It is great. It makes it less of a stress kind of like trial of what my skills would be. So I'm all for it. For those players that don't want that, update your game. It's great. The problem is that this gaming dad has 2 kids that want to also play Zelda, and because it auto downloaded the patch in the background, it always pops up with a window saying, do you want to install now, like restart software or cancel, and it defaults to the restart software part, and I have to jump on the kids every time they try to pick up the Switch, be like, hold on, you're not gonna press the buttons like you do and just smash them until you get to the home screen. No.
You have got to spend an entire Saturday just setting up your account. You're like, okay, for the entirety of my Zelda career, this is all I want for nothing. This is all that I need. And Kate, lest they do that. It's bothersome for me because it would solve what stopped me from enjoying the previous game with the duplicate. Because the breaking swords, like, oh, the sword is awesome. Oh, I used it too much and now it broke. Right?
I liked it too much and now it's broken.
So I could just duplicate 1,000 of them and never worry about it. Right?
Yeah.
So it'd be
go for it.
It would finally make it. But it sounds like by the time I get to it, this will totally be patched. So like it's just, I tell you, you wait to find Tears of the Kingdom unpatched versions on eBay going for like thousands.
Yeah. And this is probably one of the first times where I am happy that I picked it up so early, like at launch, knowing that it's broken and that it takes a while for Nintendo to kind of clue in and fix the things, and I can have a great time with it. So
I just wonder, like when they look at their metrics, like they must just see how much people love it and people are like enjoying. And I'm trying to see the gadget. On the one part of it, like the breaking is central to how they built the game, right? In that, like, you know, like the challenge curve involves you grinding and like these items being special. So if you just somersault over top of that, it kind of, I suppose, ruins the game in a way. But conversely, people love this. Like, why would you not make this?
Just make it an option then.
Option, perfect. Like, do you want the duplication?
Because there are a lot of things in this game that absolutely take a lot more grinding than I was expecting. Like, there's batteries that use a charge in this, and to get enough materials to make extra batteries is insane. And I've spent 30 minutes duplicating the material used for the batteries, and I still don't have enough for what I want to do. So yeah, Nintendo, just make it an option. Just make it like dad-friendly mode or parent-friendly mode, kid-friendly mode. Just turn it on. You can do it with other things. Like, why not for this one? Just have fun, right? Like, easy mode.
Let us have fun. Let us have fun, Nintendo. Come on.
Exactly.
That is going to be intense for you. Like, you might just have to hide the Switch until you're good and ready.
I might have to.
There's no way they don't accidentally hit update.
No, or I'm gonna have to spend some time just duplicating everything, like you said, just in case.
Yeah, one way or the other, the next game session is nothing but duplicating this. Duplicating everything you'll ever need.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Nintendo, make it an option, please.
Please.
Now a game you wouldn't think got patched, but actually did, bizarrely, was Starcraft 2. And the only reason you know about that is your kids. And out of the blue, like, all of a sudden it is a father-son Starcraft 2 gaming session. I can't believe your kids got into this old gem.
Yeah, this is something that kind of blew me away. And a friend introduced them to Starcraft 2. Which, you know, single tear for me. I wanted to be that in their life, but no, a friend took that away from me. But if I was OG Starcraft player. I played that game to death. I loved it. I had the DLC for it, or like in those days, the expansion pack. And it was awesome. Starcraft 2, I played for maybe a couple weeks. And I think we talked before the show, and maybe you were the same, right? Like dabbled in it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's newer, it had flashier graphics, all this stuff, right? So anyway, loaded it up on my 10-year-old's computer. I loaded it up on Steam Deck, and it's free to play, which is awesome.
That's very cool. I would not have known that unless you told it to me here.
Yeah, free to play. The whole thing is free to play. No restrictions unless you get into like the campaign. Like so, it'll give you the Protoss campaign to start, and then you have to buy like the chapters if you want to progress. But I think it gives you a good chunk to start if you're looking for that. Multiplayer free. Just go nuts. Amazing. So it is a great new dad gaming kind of tip to no matter how many kids in your house, you can load this thing up. You do need battle.net accounts. So that is another sign up with another password, with another two-factor authentication that we all know and love.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the only kind of like little hiccup to it, but otherwise free to play. We had a blast playing this. It works great on the Steam Deck, which I somehow didn't think it would, but with the trackpads and everything, we were having a blast, and we like took on some AI opponents.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just, I never thought back when I played the StarCraft just original, not having kids, everything, just never knowing that I'll grow up to be a dad and play a real-time strategy game with my kids. Like that's pretty awesome. Like this is something that was, there's strategy and communication to it, and you have to kind of play defense and offense and, go back and forth with each other. So it was cool. It was fun. It was great. And I will recommend it to, again, no price to get in the door for this thing. You can go for it and see if it works with your kids and try it out. So I'll recommend it.
What a huge gaming dad win. Like to harken back to a game that you love so much, to find your kids adore it, and then to be sitting there with like some of your latest tech on like later systems and sitting there. There must have almost been a moment for you, like a surreal one. Like you set everything up, you got the accounts, and everyone's playing. Like, okay, let's set up the bases, and it's like, oh man, like I'm playing StarCraft 2 with my kids. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm hearing all the lines that I used to hear, and I'm sharing that with my 10-year-old, and it was just something that I had to take a moment. Like it was a cool experience, and we had lots of laughs. And I will say, like. The one, I think it's Vespian gas that you need to build up your base. They call it vitamin gas. So, which I think is adorable, and I don't want to correct it. I think vitamin gas is way better.
I need them to say this as long as possible.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to keep that going.
Get that on tape somewhere just to bring you some joy on your saddest days. Vitamin gas, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
So...
Oh, huge gaming dad win. Congrats. That is fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So, bit of a gaming dad win myself, if I may say so.
Woo! So 2 wins in one show.
So, it was it might be better called a gaming dad save. So, so what happened? My son had his birthday party just past week. So, he had turned 8, which is wild, man. That's almost a decade.
It's getting up there.
Yeah. But he had the actual birthday party, which was fantastic. And it went off without a hitch. Quick advice for dads, don't overthink it. I'll say this, especially with boys. Like, they're just savages. Like, they're just chaos agents, right? As soon as they saw each other, they just, like, glommed onto each other. And they were jumping on a trampoline. They were giving each other headlocks and back. Like, it just got chaos immediately. We had thought about doing, like, a piñata and then, like, yard games and then all this stuff. It wasn't needed. They were in the trampoline. They were in a pool. We went to a park across. We played a bunch of soccer. They were all taking like shots on me. Like, don't overthink it. Just have fun. The kids will find each other and just have a blast. Anyways, comes time for the gifts. He's getting some wonderful gifts. He's being very polite and thankful to everybody. I was very happy about that. Super high energy. And the one kid hands him a lovely gift, but he hands him this Xbox One version of NHL 21.
Oh no! It was bound to happen sometime to one of us. So.
And I tell you this, I got a sneak preview because everyone's giving the bags we're putting up on the side, and I caught a glimpse of it, and immediately it was kind of like, oh no!
Oh really?
I'm not even sure if it's backwards compatible, and also like we don't. I have the the Series S, which is the next gen, but it has 0 disc slots.
Right.
So I have no way to play this game. and immediately, and my son, he opens it, he's excited about it, and he's like, oh, can we play this? Can we play this? Like, yeah, absolutely. And let me just check if there's any updates for it. Let me go real fast and see if there's an update for it. Right. So I sneak on downstairs. Great story. The great news for myself is that because I have Game Pass, it has, and they have a partnership with EA, they have all of the NHL games. So they have NHL 22, like 23. Bizarrely, not 21. I don't know what that's about.
That's weird.
They have 18. They have 17, 18, 19. No 20, no 21, and then 22, 20. Whatever.
This is the pandemic years. They're like, yeah, we just want to forget it.
So I download the latest one, 23, and eventually my son comes down. He's like, did you install it? Like, yeah. Like there was this code. We were able to update it. And look, here we are. We get to play hockey. It was very nice of your friend to give you that gift.
Wow.
And just smooth sailing. My again, because I didn't want to tell the kid, oh, he can't play that. Because what probably happened is that, hey, what system do you have? Xbox. And they just ran and picked up a game he liked. Right? Yeah. I just didn't want to ruin the flow. So it's like, that's great. It's so wonderful. Your friend got you this game, basically. So,
kind of. Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know if have you had the kid gift, like, or have you had even like the family gift or the friend gift that was the wrong console or the wrong generation yet?
We haven't experienced that yet, but it's been more about like, so it would be Pokemon games. Mm-hmm. You know how they always have like Sword and Shield or whatever. They would get the one that they didn't want. So,
oh no!
Because they're very particular about what Pokemon are in there as the special to that version, and then the color of the cover. So it didn't. We've had that, which is not a crazy big deal. Like, it's still the same game, same system. You can play it, whatever. But it hasn't been like a last gen or anything like that. A lot of the times now I find with birthday parties is that they just give you like gift cards. They're like, yeah, we know it's hard. So here's, $25, go nuts, like wherever. So
I find it's more the consumables. Well, at least what my son had really wanted was like Pokemon cards. Like he just wanted Pokemon cards. One kid got him like this awesome like comic book thing because he's really into drawing. So it's like a blank comic book. He can draw his own stuff.
Nice.
They all pegged him pretty good. Like it was all like they'd nailed exactly what he'd wanted. And
he's at school like handing out lists, and you're gonna give me this, and you're gonna give me this.
Well, things like it's like Pokemon or Beyblade. Like they tend to all sort of gravitate to one.
Yeah.
They're all on a Pokemon kick right now. So everybody's birthday is going to be nothing but Pokemon. So I'm finding it's mostly consumables at this stage, but it'll probably go into Robux or gift cards and other such. I don't see too many games. Plus, like most games are like $90 now.
Yeah.
So it's not really a friend gift. But
would you re-gift this gift you're not going to use, or what do you do with it? Is it a coaster? What are you doing with it right now?
Let's say trade it in, but it'd be worth nothing. Like,
it would be worth zero thing. Yeah,
I would probably trade it in just for the off chance somebody would buy it, but I can't even imagine what is the likelihood someone comes up and buys an Xbox One version of NHL 21. Did I ever tell you about like the stack of Xbox games I found in the forest behind my house?
I think that does sound familiar.
Yeah,
are you gonna do that? Are you gonna drop this game in the forest to leave like the present to whoever left that?
I'm telling you, what happened to that one is like, for listeners who might have not have heard the stories, like my sons and I were walking and we see this massive lime green pile up ahead. So what the heck is that? It is a stack of, I'm not kidding you, 100 plus Xbox 360 games.
Someone didn't do their homework.
Discs and all. And there's some part of me that believe that they brought this bag full of them to EB Games and said, hey, can I have some money? And they're like, no. And they left all disappointed and just threw it in the forest because they didn't want to bring it home. Anyways, that kind of ends up what happens because there's not much. At some point, it's worth nothing.
Right.
And if anything, it's just be kind, recycle, I suppose. Like, there'd be no better version you could do. I would not regift it. No, it would be more recycle and my thinking was, okay, worst case, I'll just buy him. I will
Your brother. You should gift it to your brother at Christmas. I'm just saying, like a secret Santa.
There you go. I'm just saying, I'm gonna secretly. I think I would have secretly purchased him a game to replace it. Is probably how I'd go about it, unless it was $100. At which point, no. But just to say that, there's a lot of snares, a lot of ways it could have gone. I snuck out a win because I had Game Pass. It just happened to be there, and I got a little bit sneaky with the details. So
you did. You pulled it off.
All the kids were happy. He was grateful to everybody. It was awesome. So, and much like you playing StarCraft, I'm playing NHL with my son. It's a blast. This is the first time first time he ever wanted to play a hockey game.
Oh wow!
We had a great time. Do you know how hard it is to lose on purpose? Because
You're
bad
really
at
trying. You're like, oh my god, I can't do it.
Well, it just must be so obvious because like the puck is sliding, and every one of my characters at the computer controls goes flying towards the puck, gets controlled by me, and all of a sudden veers off in a wild. So I'm basically defending every single time my guy gets close, just like steering him away, like no, let him have it.
Yeah.
And then he just wins score. I'm like, come on, score. I want this game to be done. And he needed the win, so he'll like it, and then we can play more. But
yes,
we're playing it. It's great.
Nice.
We had some huge gaming wins this week. So we're talking Starcraft and some NHL. A great great game-breaking bug, and some Diablo 4. Not a bad week.
That is a great week. I think we are really starting off this summer of beers like on the right foot.
Everybody, hey, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe on any of the major podcasting networks. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Caster, anywhere where you get your podcast. Just search for New Dad Gaming. If you do find us on there, what would really help out the show, if Jeff and I could please ask, would be to subscribe and to leave a rating or a comment. Really helps boost the signal, gets it out there to other gaming dads. I'm not sure how we're going to get a gaming dad StarCraft 2 league going, but unless the word gets out there, it's not going to happen. Are we going to start a Diablo 4 gaming dad clan? I've never been in one. I don't know what I'm doing, so I can use it. Bring your silly skeleton necromancer. Let's see what we can do. Either way, like I said, if you can subscribe, leave a comment, really appreciate that. As well, again, as we mentioned, if you have your own stories, if you have dipped into Diablo 4, if you have your own bug you want to fix, StarCraft 2 story with your sons, or a funny birthday story where you had to play Secret Savior to keep things flowing. Those are the stories we love to hear, and some of the stories we've read on air from dads have been the best part. So if you can reach out to us, let us know what you're thinking at New Dad Gaming or newdadgaming.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get your story on the air. Everybody, thank you so much once again for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old.
And remember, just because you became a dad
does not mean